It was late, and I was working overtime when a notification suddenly popped up on my computer. A particularly severe murder case has just occurred in our city. The last known location of the culprit was the southwest district of the city. All citizens are advised to be cautious. My heart sank. The only major construction area in the southwest district was the school where I currently work. It was pitch black outside. Only my office light was on. As I was thinking, I heard faint footsteps coming from the staircase. A chill ran down my spine. I turned quickly and found a face pressed against the window outside. Before I could scream, someone knocked heavily on the office door. I held my breath, gathering the courage to look back at the window. The face's mouth was twisted into a strangely strained smile. I frowned, looking closer. A flash of lightning outside illuminated the face, making it frighteningly pale. I recognized him. It was a developmentally disabled 8th grade boy named Leo. He was hanging onto the window ledge with both hands, staring at me, unblinking. I don't know when he got here. The thunder rumbled, and the rain poured down like a deluge. Not waiting to see who was knocking outside, I quickly pulled the window open and dragged Leo inside. Even as I pulled him in, he was still smiling at me strangely. I placed my hand over his mouth, signaling him not to speak, and carefully tucked him under my desk. The knocking resumed, steady and persistent. I crept toward the door, cautiously sliding the latch that wasn't fully secured. "Is anyone inside?" a rough male voice shouted from outside. Damn it, what a cursed place! There's nobody for miles around, and I have to take this delivery order? I breathed a sigh of relief. At least the person outside was real, just a hot-tempered food delivery guy. The next second, my phone rang. Strange, why isn't anyone answering? I heard the delivery man mutter, and the call was quickly hung up. Immediately after, a photo was sent. He had placed the food outside the door and left. I heard the footsteps fading away, and my legs went weak, collapsing onto the floor. I had indeed scared myself for no reason. Even if the killer really had run to the Southwest District, their target wasn't necessarily our school. Moreover, the security guard was faithfully on duty at the gate. Strangers certainly couldn't enter. I cautiously opened the door, took the food inside, and quickly took a picture on my phone to send to my boyfriend. "Thank you, darling, for the coffee. I don't feel tired at all working overtime with this." I placed the food on the desk and looked at the clock. It was nearly 10 p.m. It was definitely time to go home. I bent down and pulled Leo out from under the desk. "Tell me, why are you still here so late?" Leo grinned strangely. "Miss Ann, you are so beautiful. I've always been watching you, but you never noticed." A chill ran through me. I looked at Leo. "Tell me, why haven't you gone home?" Leo opened his eyes wide and pointed toward the door. "I'm going home right now." With that, he bolted from my grasp and ran straight out. I tried to grab him, but he was too fast. He escaped and ran off in an instant. I intended to chase after him, but he was already gone before I could stand up. The tap, tap, tap of his feet grew distant. I rubbed my temples helplessly. As a middle school teacher, I had encountered all sorts of students. Some were intellectually challenged, some had volatile tempers, and some wouldn't listen to teachers or parents. It was truly too much. Cases like Leo with intellectual disabilities were almost impossible for us to handle. Outside, there was nothing but the sound of the rain. I looked at my phone, which displayed a red-level heavy rain warning. I had driven my car to school this morning, and the car was still parked in the parking lot. Just as I was about to step out, my foot retreated. A thought flashed through my mind. I might as well stay at the school for the night. I returned to the office, thoroughly checked the windows and main door, and sat back down. My boyfriend's special notification sound rang. "Sweetheart, I didn't order food for you. What's going on? Are you still at school? I just saw the news that a killer ran to the Southwest District. Don't wander around. You didn't order food for me?" I typed with trembling fingers. "Then what is this food?" A few seconds later, both of us fell silent. "Damn it, I just saw the news. A bridge near you has been washed away by the flood?" "Sweetheart, stay put inside the school. Don't go out. I'm driving over to pick you up now." A voice message was sent. Hearing the sound of rain on his end, my heart gradually calmed. Thank goodness Leo interrupted me earlier. Otherwise, I really would have drunk that beverage. Who knows what was in food delivered by a stranger? Besides, so many strange things had happened today. each one making me feel uneasy. Just as I was about to check who placed the order, the office door was suddenly knocked heavily. I didn't know who was outside, but anyone still at school at this hour must be abnormal. "Leo," I called softly, but there was no response outside. I was secretly glad that the door was locked, but the person outside suddenly started banging violently on the door. "I delivered the wrong order. Open the door. Are you trying to steal it? I'll break down your door right now if you don't." Before I could react, my phone started exploding with messages. All were curses from an unknown number. "Trying to steal it? Aren't you ashamed? Do you want to die? If you want to die, open the door, and I'll help you." I was trembling with fear, my eyes darting toward the window. My office was on the first floor. If he really broke in, I could escape through the window. But the rain outside was torrential. This room was the safest place. I was stuck. I didn't know how the delivery man got my number, but everything was terrifyingly strange. The collapsed bridge might have damaged the cell tower. The phone signal was unstable. I desperately sent a text message to the police, unsure if it was successful, but it was my last hope. I opened the window, intending to find another place to hide. Just as I poked half my body out, Leo's desperate crying suddenly rang out. "Help me, Miss Ann! Save me! Don't touch me! I want to go home!" Leo's cries chilled me to the bone. My entire body froze. Just as I was about to turn back, the corner of my eye caught a shadow in the bushes outside. I immediately locked the window and pulled the curtains shut. I wasn't sure if that person saw me, but I knew for certain that it was a person. The delivery man was still banging frantically on the door. Leo's cries, the rain, and his shouting blended together. My head felt like it was about to explode. Before I could think what to do next, a pair of eyes peered straight at me through the glass panel above the door. I saw the person wearing a yellow delivery uniform. So he really was the delivery man. I trembled, propping myself against the desk, and dialed 911. The events tonight were too bizarre. The phone rang a few times and reported a busy line. The delivery man remained glued to the glass, motionless. I took all my courage and shouted, "My phone number is on the order. Why don't you try checking who placed it?" I don't know what he saw, but he suddenly jumped down and started banging on the door even more violently. I mustered all my courage and moved closer to the door, thinking, could the real killer be wearing a delivery uniform? Besides, I was caught between two threats. I didn't know who the person outside was either. I opened the door a tiny crack. The aggressive delivery man abruptly stopped. "You said you delivered the wrong order. Why didn't you call the seller to confirm?" I asked, boldly. Having been a teacher for many years, my acting was natural, and I wasn't afraid of speaking in public. It wasn't hard to pretend to be calm now. When the man saw me open the door, he couldn't maintain his composure anymore. He pushed past me, walked quickly to the food bag, checked the information carefully, and mumbled curses. I approached him, pointing to the food bag. "It clearly has my name on it. How about you let me try calling to see who ordered it?" He suddenly looked up, and I instinctively retreated. Only when he showed me his phone did I realize he was deaf. That was why he couldn't hear me, and why his voice was so loud. "Deaf people can't hear their own volume," he angrily shouted. "I'm disabled!" The rain ruined my hearing aid. How could this order be wrong? Damn it, I still have a pile of orders waiting to be delivered. I gently tapped his shoulder, signaling. "How about you give me your phone, and I'll call and ask who placed it. I'm the only person at school, so it couldn't have been delivered wrong." Unsure if he understood, I snatched the phone and dialed the number of the person who placed the order. The phone rang a few times. The delivery man and I were silent. Who is playing such a malicious prank? I want to catch them clearly. The phone was finally answered, and a familiar voice came through the speaker. It was the physical education teacher who sat across from me, Mr. Lucas. "Hello, how's the situation? Has the food been delivered? Is she the only one left in the office? If she's the only one left at school, I'll find an excuse to stay and work overtime too. Why aren't you saying anything? Hello?" Clack. I hung up the phone. If I remembered correctly, Lucas was married. When he first started working at the school, he even showed me pictures of his daughter. It wasn't until the delivery man's cursing voice rang out again that I snapped out of my panic. I put the phone back in his hand and said loudly, "It wasn't delivered wrong. It's not my delivery that's wrong. You must have picked up the wrong order for someone else." I spoke and used gestures until the delivery man looked up and nodded at me. He adjusted his raincoat and quickly left the office. Once he was gone, my legs went weak and I collapsed onto the floor. The entire school became silent again. Besides the rain and the occasional thunder and lightning, there was no other sound. I sat on the floor for a long time before standing up, returning to my chair, and laughing mockingly at myself. How could there be so many coincidences in the world? Is the killer just killing indiscriminately? Perhaps the shadow I saw earlier was just an illusion caused by nervous tension. Thinking this, I quickly walked to the window, looked in the direction I saw earlier, but saw nothing. At this point, I checked the office door lock one more time before returning to my desk with peace of mind. The security guard at the school gate works 24 hours a day. Strangers definitely couldn't get in. Besides, the rain outside was so heavy that the bridge was washed away. Even if Lucas Liu wanted to come, he couldn't get in. I took a few deep breaths, refocusing on my work. It must be said that when one concentrates on work, there is no room for fear. The mind only thinks about how to design an outstanding lesson plan. Until a sudden call came, I instinctively answered. The voice on the other end was a woman's, full of anxiety. "Miss Ann, is my son Leo still at school? Why hasn't he come home yet? I just saw the news about the crazy killer outside. Miss, do you think something happened to my son?" I pursed my lips. A wandering killer might not be here, but a missing child was a truly serious matter. I quickly reassured Leo Chone's mother. "Mrs. Chone, please calm down. Try to think where he usually plays. Maybe he's hiding somewhere because of the heavy rain." Hearing the mother's choked sobs on the other end, my heart was also in turmoil. "How about this? I saw Leo in the office 2 hours ago. Maybe he's hiding in a classroom and hasn't left the school because of the heavy rain. I'll go check." "Okay, thank you, teacher." The mother thanked me tearfully. Just as I was about to stand up, she asked an additional question. "Teacher, are you still at school at this hour?" "Yes, I'm working overtime. I got caught in the heavy rain and couldn't leave." The mother was silent for a moment, then stammered, "Be careful." A strange feeling rose in my heart, but I didn't have time to think much. The important thing was to find the child first. Clack! I unlocked the door. The next second, the room door was violently pushed open by someone. I instinctively retreated. It was only then that I noticed the hallway window had been opened by someone. The wind howled, and the door rattled violently. I gripped my phone tightly and quickly ran upstairs. A dripping sound came from the 4th floor men's restroom. I cautiously stepped closer. "Leo, is that you?" I called several times, but there was no reply. I took all my courage and pushed open the door to the men's restroom. The sight before me made me scream. The yellow delivery uniform was discarded on the floor. Even without the lights on, I could feel a sticky liquid under my feet. The deaf delivery man was lying motionless on the ground, his eyes wide open. Shaking all over, I quickly ran down the stairs. Someone really had been killed. Could the shadow I saw earlier not have been an illusion? The killer really was here. How did he get in? Could the security guard have been harmed too? I ran, thinking all these things. Although I was a teacher who hadn't exercised much in 5 years, I was sure my speed now was faster than my university 800-meter sprint. I rushed downstairs, completely unaware that someone was standing right in front of me, until I crashed into a cold, hard chest. "Ah!" I screamed, not daring to open my eyes, just flailing my arms and legs. My phone was knocked far away until that person spoke. "Miss Ann, it's me. What's wrong?" "Miss Ann, don't be afraid." The familiar voice jolted me awake. I looked up. It was indeed Lucas. My hands instinctively tightened. If I hadn't heard what he said on the phone earlier, I might have seen him as my savior. But now, I looked at him with full caution. "What's wrong with you, Miss Ann? Why are you rushing down from upstairs in such a panic? Is something wrong?" This wasn't the time for a confrontation. I stepped aside, picked up my phone, turned it on, called my boyfriend, and immediately set it to silent mode. "Someone is dead upstairs." I looked straight at Lucas, pretending to be calm. Let's go find the security guard quickly. This building isn't safe. Did you see the police warning? A killer is hiding in the Southwest District. He might be lurking around here. Lucas froze, then covered his belly and burst out laughing. Miss Ann, stop joking. I got here when the security guard was still asleep. I woke him up with my call. It's hard to get through the gate. Is the killer supposed to just jump over the electric fence? I anxiously stomped my foot. It's true. There's really a dead body upstairs. Hurry up and call the police. I'll go call the security guard. Don't touch the scene. As I turned to run, a hand grabbed my wrist tightly. I looked back, seeing Lucas looking at me with cold eyes. Miss Ann, why do I feel like you're avoiding me? Why are you running? His words sent a chill down my spine. I hurriedly pulled my hand away, forcing a smile. I'm telling the truth. If you don't believe me, I'll take you up to see. You'll know I'm not lying. Lucas let go, but his eyes never left me for a second. That gaze was exactly like a wolf watching its prey. Now it was just Lucas and me, a man and a woman, in the dark, silent school. The security guard was nowhere to be seen. The rain outside was fierce, and help surely hadn't arrived yet. The killer was in the darkness, and we were in the light. No matter how I thought about it, it felt like a dead end. I sighed softly, gritting my teeth as I led him upstairs. The delivery man just brought me food, but when I went up to look for Leo, I saw him dead in the fourth-floor restroom. Oh, right! I still haven't found Leo. As I spoke, I didn't notice Lucas's expression stiffen slightly, and then he immediately stuck close behind me. It's right up ahead. Go see for yourself. I led Lucas to the men's restroom on the fourth floor. He's lying in there. Lucas pushed the door open and stepped in. A few seconds later, he came back out. Miss Ann, are you kidding me? There's no one in here. I immediately pushed the door open to look. It was completely empty. The delivery man was just lying there, eyes wide open. How could a living person disappear in the blink of an eye? Are you overworking yourself, Miss Ann, and having hallucinations? Lucas slowly approached. How about you stop trying and go back to the office to rest for a bit? I dodged, backing against the wall. I really saw a dead body, and the floor was covered in blood. Lucas chuckled softly. Don't you see the floor is covered in dirt now? Miss Ann, you're too tired. You need to rest. A few days ago, a student spilled glue in the restroom and was punished by Mr. Smith to write a self-criticism in front of the whole school. Did you forget? His words made me pause. It seemed like that really happened. Could I truly be exhausted and having hallucinations? I frowned, trying to find an excuse to leave. Mr. Lucas, Leo's mother just called me saying her son hasn't come home. I need to go find him. I promised I'd call her back after checking the classrooms. I spoke as I walked out, my eyes fixed on his every move. If he made a move now, there were no cameras in this restroom, and the whole building was deserted. If I screamed, it would be useless. Fortunately, I walked out the door, and he didn't do anything. I secretly sighed in relief, looking up at him. Mr. Lucas, I'm going to check the classrooms. Lucas waved his hand. Miss Ann, I'll wait for you in the office. I have a specialized topic I don't understand and wanted to ask you for guidance. I nodded and quickly walked away. I entered a classroom and tightly locked the door. The delivery man's death was definitely not a hallucination. But how could a person disappear in the blink of an eye? Was the killer still secretly following me? That thought made me shiver. I immediately texted my boyfriend. Our call was still connected. He didn't say anything, only continuously sent me messages. I looked at my phone. The signal was down to 1 bar, and the battery was almost dead. I didn't know if it could last until he came to rescue me. Are you okay? Who is the man talking to you? The police and rescue team are clearing the rubble. Did you see the killer? Is someone really dead? Sweetheart, answer me. I'm so worried. Seeing my boyfriend's messages. I was moved to tears and quickly summarized everything for him about Lucas. That drink was ordered by Lucas for me. Then I used the delivery man's phone to call him. I didn't expect him to ask the delivery man if I was at school alone, and if so, he would find an excuse to work overtime at school too. His gaze was terrifying. I remember he's married. I don't know what his wife looks like. It's just the two of us at school now, and I'm so scared. If he really intends to do something to me, I definitely won't be able to escape. My boyfriend's reply came quickly. Sweetheart, find something to defend yourself with and hide it in your bag. If something happens, it will count as legitimate self-defense. Don't worry, we'll be there in 2 hours at most. You must hold on. After reading this, I wiped my tears and started searching for something to defend myself with in the classroom. I crushed a box of chalk and put it in my jacket pocket. I rummaged through a student's desk and found a small folding knife, which I put in my pants pocket. With these things, I felt a little safer. I couldn't just sit and wait for death anymore. The best way was to find an opportunity to run to the guard booth. The security guard's electric baton was there, and with someone watching, Lucas wouldn't dare to do anything. Just as I was thinking about what to do, the classroom door was suddenly knocked heavily. I jumped, looking up. Facing me was Lucas. I didn't know when he had been standing there. His eyes were full of mockery. Miss Ann, Leo isn't here. I've been waiting for you in the office. Why haven't you come back yet? I looked at him, thinking quickly, and signaled with my hand. Wait a moment, Mr. Lucas. My boyfriend is calling. Mrs. Chone's phone is on my desk. Can you call her and tell her we haven't found the boy yet? Lucas stood outside the door, his face cold as ice, not replying. My hand holding the phone trembled. The battery was only 20%. If I couldn't push him away now, when he broke the door down, I wouldn't have any chances left. Just as I was about to say more, he suddenly banged violently on the door. Miss Ann, someone is coming upstairs. I hear footsteps downstairs. Could the killer really be at school? Open the door quickly! Seeing Lucas's face growing increasingly panicked, my intuition told me not to open the door. I stood still, not moving. He banged on the door for a while longer. Seeing I didn't reply, he turned his head and looked around, then quickly ran to another classroom, slamming the door shut with a bang. I collapsed onto the floor, clutching my chest. At this moment, the room seemed to be the safest place. At least, no one outside could get in. Now, there were 2 people outside, both posing a lurking danger to me. I absolutely couldn't go outside. I turned my head to look at the window. This was the 4th floor. To ensure student safety, every floor of the school had a connecting balcony. I wasn't short. If I held onto the ledges and climbed down 1 floor at a time, I might be able to do it. No sooner said than done. I carefully opened the window and turned to climb out. It was difficult to place both feet on the balcony ledge. My whole body was drenched in sweat. The cold rain lashed against me, but I dared not stop, struggling to move sideways. Just as I climbed down 1 floor, the rain grew heavier. Visibility was blurred and my hands were weakening. Each movement was small, but took a lot of effort. Just when I was almost despairing, someone suddenly grabbed my ankle, pulling me forcefully back into the window of the 3rd floor. I screamed, opening my eyes wide. It was Lucas Liu, looking at me with a smirk. Miss Ann, I caught you. Where were you trying to run off to? I bit my lip, not answering. Why didn't you listen when I told you to go back to the office? Why are you always avoiding me? Don't you see I like you? He lunged forward, burying his head in my neck, breathing heavily. I pushed hard against his shoulder, trying to appeal to his conscience. Lucas, the killer, is still out there. Are you crazy? You have a wife and children. If you do this, how will they live? There are cameras in the classroom, Lucas. Don't do anything crazy. Hearing me mention the cameras, he suddenly looked up. There's no killer. I made it all up just now. I didn't expect you really wouldn't open the door for me. Miss Ann, now I have to punish you. As he tried to lean down again, I quickly pulled the crushed chalk powder from my pocket. Luckily, my jacket was leather, so the powder hadn't gotten wet. The chalk flew straight into his eyes, making him unable to open them. I seized the opportunity to push him away and ran straight downstairs. If I could reach the guard booth before he recovered, I would be safe. But just as I was inwardly rejoicing, I found that the main door on the 1st floor had been locked from the inside by someone unknown. Behind me, Lucas's footsteps grew closer, each step pounding against my heart, counting down the seconds of life and death. No time to think, I rushed to the fire extinguisher corner, picked up the fire extinguisher, and sprayed it straight at him. Damn you, you bitch! Before he could finish speaking, all the lights in the building went out. White smoke billowed and my vision plunged into absolute darkness. I heard his loud laughter in the dark. Ha ha ha, Miss Ann, you can't run away. The power is out now. I can do anything I want to you. I closed my eyes and hurled the fire extinguisher toward the sound of his voice. I pressed myself against the wall, groping in the dark, not making a sound. I couldn't see him, and he surely couldn't see me. If I could find another classroom and lock the door in time, he wouldn't be able to find me. Each second dragged on endlessly until I heard heavy footsteps echoing down the stairs. Lucas seemed to have found an accomplice and shouted, "Hey buddy, help me find that woman. If I don't catch her today, my name isn't Lucas." I was so scared I didn't dare to breathe, but the other person didn't reply to his call. After what felt like ages, I finally reached a classroom door. Just as I was about to open the door and step inside, a shadow suddenly lunged toward me. I quickly turned, using the faint light to clearly see the person in front of me. It was the delivery man. He was still alive and had been in the building all this time. The delivery man held an iron bar in his hand, gently pulled me into the classroom, and locked the door tightly. I emotionally patted his shoulder. You're not dead? Why were you lying motionless on the fourth floor earlier? Do you know I was scared to death? I rattled on, but he didn't say a word. Only then did I remember he was deaf. My phone suddenly vibrated. I looked and saw a location message sent by my boyfriend. I immediately clicked on it. He said the police and rescue team had finished clearing the rubble, and they were arriving at the school soon. I held my phone up to the delivery man's face. In the light of the screen, I clearly saw his head was covered in blood. His whole face was bruised and swollen, a painful sight. My heart pounded. I was about to be saved. I just needed to stay here safely for a few more minutes. But the more I didn't want trouble, the more trouble came. Lucas, like a madman, was banging the fire extinguisher violently against the classroom door. The glass shattered. Almost instantly, the delivery man rushed forward to wrestle with him. I quickly pulled the small knife from my pocket, ready to charge in and attack Lucas if the delivery man seemed to be losing. Unexpectedly, the delivery man's fighting ability was so strong that in just a few moves, Lucas was knocked unconscious. I picked up the fire extinguisher, trying my best to smash the main door glass, but I was too weak. The glass didn't budge. The delivery man suddenly stood behind me, raised the fire extinguisher, and powerfully smashed the door glass. The glass of the first floor door shattered. He and I immediately ran outside. At the guard booth, I found the security guard was beaten unconscious and tied up. Lying next to him was the student Leo I had been searching for. Police sirens sounded from afar. I was completely exhausted, my legs weak, collapsing onto a chair. My boyfriend and the police ran in through the school gate. As soon as I saw him, I couldn't hold back anymore, leaping into his arms and sobbing. The delivery man was also taken away by the ambulance. Not only that, the police also discovered an unfamiliar man in the fourth floor women's restroom. Upon investigation, he was the wanted murder suspect. The next morning, when the rain stopped, I was called to the police station to give my statement. Miss Ann, please recount in detail everything that happened at the school the night before last. I recounted the entire incident from beginning to end. Before I left, the police called me back. Miss Ann, what is your relationship with the suspect, Lucas? I looked at the police with suspicion. We're just colleagues. And what was the relationship between the suspect and the victim? Hearing me, the police frowned and pulled an envelope from his pocket. The night before last, we received an anonymous complaint. Someone reported that you and Lucas were hosting a party at the school. What? My eyes widened in shock. Officer, you must clarify this for me. Lucas is married and old. How could I be involved with him? Have you traced the person who made the complaint? The police sighed. It was Elsa, Leo's mother. It wasn't until the trial that I learned the whole truth. It turned out that Leo was Lucas Liu's son. Because Leo was developmentally disabled, Lucas was always ashamed and didn't want to admit the relationship, so the child took his mother's last name. For years, because of the child, Lucas hardly ever went home. Elsa Chun knew her husband had someone else outside but tolerated it, turning a blind eye. Until that day, when her son didn't come home, she called me. She knew I was still at school, and Lucas had just rushed out of the house, claiming to work overtime at school. Elsa immediately understood. Late at night, a man and a woman, plus her son, was also there. In a fit of rage, she wrote the false complaint. I chose to forgive Elsa's actions. After all, she was just a struggling housewife raising a child with disabilities. The murder case of the wanted suspect was a whole other long story. The next second, my phone rang and a voice came through the loudspeaker, being ridiculed by former colleagues while selling goods on the street. In a fit of anger, he bought a dagger online and began a long plan for revenge. Mr. Simon Tan, the killer, said, "The feeling of killing is strange." In that instant, all my inhibitions exploded. I couldn't stop. Once you start, there's a second time. Don't you know? I originally intended to stop, but the delivery man, that attitude of his, drove me mad. People who don't respect others all deserve to die. I deliberately followed him to the Southwest District. Those were his last orders. Besides the order at the school, all the others were placed by me. I intentionally made things difficult for him, driving him crazy. Then I took advantage of his carelessness and knocked him unconscious. It's a shame. I almost killed him. If that teacher hadn't suddenly appeared, he would be dead now. It was then that I realized that when I rushed into the room, Simon had been hiding right behind the door. He only wanted to kill the delivery man, so he spared everyone else. Simon was eventually sentenced to death. Lucas, having not committed an actual crime, was only temporarily detained for a few months. Later, when my boyfriend and I visited the delivery man in the hospital, we learned that he was a former military officer. He lost his hearing due to an injury during duty, which also made him psychologically irritable. After leaving the hospital, it took me a while to regain my composure before returning to teaching at the school. Luckily, I had escaped disaster. Perhaps good things were still waiting for me ahead.